What's up, guys? Welcome back to today's video. I'm joined by my former college roommate Christian and my really good friend Yasmin. Today we're going to talk about the challenges of dating as an adult, navigating your career, as well as like loneliness and stuff like that. You guys suggested these comments and we're going to dive right into it. So Christian right here was a freshman roommate sophomore year, and now he currently lives in San Francisco and he's in the alcohol distribution business.
Yep.
And then my friend Yasmin formerly left her job, and she's exploring food as well as her passions and figuring it all out. So we can talk about like the joys of following your passion and what that actually looks like. Because a lot of people talk about, yeah, I want to quit my job and move on, but it's like without structure and being patient, it's a completely different ballgame. So I guess we'll start with Christian. Christian, what's it like dating as an adult male who's single in San Francisco?
It's definitely a little bit unique. I would say I've definitely gone the approach of in-person meetups through hobbies, and then online dating. Personal opinion, I think by far the best one thus far has been like meeting people through hobbies, whether it was playing soccer, whether it was wine tasting and or social events through work. When people have mutually aligned interests, I definitely found a lot more compatibility versus online dating was like a crapshoot kind of situation where you'd never know what you're going to get, how you're going to get it. And I think if you are in the online dating scene, you're kind of coming in with a lot of expectations versus when you're in something you love, it's a bit more natural.
How do you think like COVID changed the landscape of dating and how online dating became the preferential way to meet people?
I think COVID specifically definitely made people a lot more antisocial and or kind of changed just human dynamics. Being alone for almost a year or like limited sort of social interaction definitely damaged a lot of people in certain senses, as well as just a degree of comfortability. So like moving out of COVID, I think there's a degree of like, you need to get yourself back out of it and break through the COVID sort of landscape that has been created.
So do you think that like social anxiety created by COVID and the lack of human interaction kind of mentally handicapped people and took some time to overcome?
To a certain degree. I think there was also just a massive shift within our generation about how they interpret dating, how they engage with it, what you're sort of expecting. Obviously, there's a ton of online content that leads you into these little rabbit holes that aren't healthy.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that you definitely want to sort of find your hobby, find your passion, and dig through that.
Okay.
And then you meet people naturally versus if you're hunting for a date, I feel like you've already kind of lost.
Gotcha. Okay, Yasmin, from a female's perspective, this is something that a lot of people on my channel want to hear about because it's usually like guys' experience of when you're online dating, the odds are kind of stacked against you as a guy because there's a lot more dudes on dating apps versus girls, right? So the power dynamic is completely different versus like in real life interaction. The man would usually approach the woman and ask her out, but it's kind of shifted. So can you talk about your personal experience on online dating and stuff?
Yeah. I'd say it's been a mixed bag. I started using Hinge in San Francisco, and I feel like that was posed to be more of like intentional dating and, you know, not hookup culture as in Tinder, which people would use in college, and that was not the best. So I felt like I went into it like open, but also I started really getting into it during COVID, so it was not the best time. It was probably like a couple years after COVID, and I came in with an open heart, and I feel like it's quick to get defeated and easy to get defeated with it because you're not really seeing people for who they are in the beginning. It's kind of gamified, and there's a lot more games in your head it can get where it's like, you know, who messages first, or they haven't messaged me, like should I message them? So basically I've gone through about like, I've tried dating throughout the city probably for like 3-4 years, and it's been pretty good. I think it's a great way to put yourself out there, especially coming out of COVID where, you know, it was hard to meet people out in person, and you're new to a city, you're doing your full-time career the first time after being in like school structure so long. So I think it's an easy way to get yourself out there and practice dating. And there's definitely good success stories. I've had some good experiences and bad experiences, and I don't want to knock it. I just think by person you should know yourself, and I feel like I haven't found great matches through it. And not just my experience, but I have so many friends that have met boyfriends and husbands now through it. But I don't really love the manufacturing of it, and it just doesn't feel very natural. So I think you have to be in tune with yourself and know, like, what am I on here for, and am I in a good place to do this, or am I using this just for validation, or am I bored and just trying to see, get a quick hit of dopamine? Yeah. So overall, I'd say it's a cool technology change. It just, I don't know if I'm a big fan of it myself.
So another thing I would have is, do you have some tips for guys on their online dating profile or just like in their dating? Because a lot of guys kind of struggle with that of like, hey, what should I post? What should I say? And the prompts. So give us your advice on that.
Yeah, I mean, photos still, I think, are important, like the visual aspect of it. But I think, obviously, you want to have a mix. Like, you want to have a good photo of yourself, like with your friends, maybe doing your favorite hobby, maybe like a photo of like a travel, it doesn't have to be with you in it. And then the prompts, I think, really show the character, whether it is about like, I don't know, nothing rocket science. I would say, like, you don't want to overthink it. Like, maybe it could be answering a prompt about like what your favorite things to do in your free time, or maybe something like comedy in there. Like, I think it's just big to just try to show your personality. Like, if you are a funny person, add that in, or if you're more, maybe you're into your career more, you make that known so that you meet people that meet you there. You don't want to like put up a front and then you meet people in person like, oh wait, wasn't what your profile showed. So I think a good mix of photos that aren't just I know there's like a joke of like the classic photo of like with the fish guy, which is fine if that's your only photo. I think guys lack photos. I know you guys don't, I mean, not everyone, but I know they say like not many guys take photos.
Yeah.
So I think if you can get some, maybe with like, I know I love seeing one with like a mom or like, like a sister would be nice to see.
Okay. So like establish safety, like you're a normal person. It's like, okay.
I don't know. I think that's cute. And then, I mean, I even struggle with making the profile, but I think it is important just to like not force it or make up responses. Like just own up to what it is, and you hope that you meet someone that likes you for that. You don't need to make up something.
So my next question, whoever answers first is fine. Let's say you're a guy who doesn't get a lot of matches, or your success rate is like very low. What would you tell them if they're not getting the success that they're looking for online dating and stuff?
I mean, I'd definitely say adapt your strategy. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of, as she said, online dating is very gamified, where you have like the aesthetic of which you portray yourself. You have the different prompts that you can sort of re-answer. You can change it up. Definitely wouldn't recommend jumping over to Tinder if you're looking for a real dating scene. Definitely stick to Bumble or Hinge. But
does it matter, like Tinder versus Hinge or Bumble?
I think just the people that go on those.
Oh.
Yeah,
they're just trying to smash. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's a completely different dynamic, and like I know some people purchase the gold or like those other things.
Okay, so I'm not really familiar with dating apps. So there's tiers, and what does that unlock?
I could tell you that Mike and all of them from before were on that, and it gives you more access.
Does it help you get more girls or dates by paying for premium? Or no.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I feel like it's worse. To some capacity, but at the same time it may work if like you travel between cities. Like there are other reasons outside of just the hunt, I guess is the way I would describe it for most of the people I know that had that premium. But the other thing is just like expand your horizons of go to different bars, go to different restaurants, go to different
So focus more on in real life interactions and hobbies, and it's or like third spaces where it's a genuine ecosystem where you can meet people naturally.
Exactly. And if you want to stick to the online dating scene, then change the way in which you interpret your profile in a sense, whether it's photos, whether it's prompts, whether it's sort of how you approach the conversation, whether you want to extend the conversation up front or just be like, hey, like I really liked your response on this different prompt. I'd love to get coffee and talk to you about it, and just being more direct so you don't get caught in that little limbo of back and forth.
Say you're a guy or girl who struggles with social anxiety. I know I have a lot of comments or people who comment they want to meet people, they don't have the experience, or COVID zapped their confidence. And especially when you move to a new city all the time, like I moved to DC, you guys moved up to SF, and you're not around your friends a lot of the time. You have to reestablish that community. What advice would you give to those people?
I think It goes back to doing what you love or what's natural to you. Because again, you don't want to force yourself in a place where you're not going to come across as your true self. So I think it goes back to like living your everyday life and what that means for you. And I think there is a healthy amount of pushing yourself. Like you can't sit in your room all day. You can't sit at home all day. Like you need to be out and about and like intellectually like stimulating yourself, whether it's you like trying new restaurants, go to a new restaurant. If you like playing a sport, sign yourself up. Like as an adult, you need to put yourself into those situations versus when you were a kid, your parents did it for you. So I think it's a healthy amount of, getting yourself out and, practicing what makes you happy, what you love, and you'd hope through it you meet other people. And that could mean also, like, I don't know, even leverage social media. Like I've found new events through like Instagram ads or following, local influencers or like local city guides that show what's up and coming, like a networking panel or let's say like a comedy show, or there's all kinds of different social groups that mimic like college clubs that you could sign up for. They're free even, or if you pay like $15-$20, it's worth it, I think. And I always think of it as like, it's fun, you get dressed up for it and you can go, and if you don't like it, leave after an hour. An hour goes by so quick and you're just happy that you got yourself out of the house and tried it.
So it's a matter of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, because a lot of people, sad to say, like, they want to sit in the room, do online dating, and just hope something comes along. But you have to go out and about, and that's the answer I keep pushing.
Pay attention to how you feel. Like I know for me, at least when I was online on using apps and it's too much time on my phone, I feel really bad. Like, and you don't want to be in that space. Like you want to feel good and out and naturally meeting people. And I think too much time scrolling the phone, it doesn't feel like real life. Yeah. I think you can leverage it though, for sure. Like I found, like I said, great events through social media and technology, whatever, but it shouldn't be the whole focus of your day.
And I would say, like, we're post-grad, we all have jobs. Like work takes a tremendous amount of our time, and sometimes it zaps our social energy. So you have to plan around your schedule and stuff like that. Dating or socializing has to become of your daily routine. Because I know, like, if I've worked like long hours throughout the week and by Friday, I'm kind of like socially out of it, because you're just been like mission based. So taking that time to just, I don't know, ground yourself and see human connection, it makes me feel like a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like kind of like the gym, there's an analogy like, you focus on how you feel after. Like you might not want to go to the gym, but then afterwards you feel great. So you have to have that discipline and know that, okay, maybe I don't want to do it now, but I know following it, I'm going to be feeling more rejuvenated and happy that I did that.
I think up front would be if you're spending all day in your room just swiping on dating apps, you're already losing.
Yeah.
You need to maybe stop thinking about dating and stop thinking this will change things, and instead find ways to change yourself outside of dating.
Yeah.
And then it may come a lot easier.
Okay.
Or you can re-enter the market and kind of be the self that you want to be, rather than trying to portray something
Gotcha.
you're not.
So a lot of it, I get comments and requests where some guys don't consider themselves like that attractive or good looking, and they want to work on themselves before they enter back into the dating market and stuff like that. So do you think it's good to take time away to start going to the gym and slowly entering like social interactions before you even hit the dating scene? Or would you say just go right into it and figure it out?
Oh, 100%. I mean, if you don't have the self-confidence to walk into the dating scene, then you're not going to be happy. You're just going to set yourself up to fail. Where you kind of need to either surround yourself with people that, like, appearance always matters to a certain degree with some people, but it's not the end-all be-all. If you surround yourself with good people, if you have a good time, if you have, like, positive qualities, whether it's work ethic or unique interest or a way to, like, portray yourself beyond just a physical appearance, then that's where you kind of stand out. You really attract different people for different reasons.
Yeah.
Not everyone wants to be the perfect model on Instagram.
Yeah.
I would say, yes, step away from the dating scene, and then more likely than not, it may find you rather than you searching for it.
So a thing I struggle with the most with some requests is some people have the idea of what dating is, and if you only see online, you see Instagram models, people on yachts doing these crazy stuff. Can you confirm that there are normal people who don't go clubbing every single day and exist and go to get groceries, and they're not just like getting the hot blondes 24/7 and living that LA lifestyle? Like, you guys are real and are not, like, I don't know, in that current lifestyle.
I mean, we know someone who does go through that a little more, but at the same time, there are plenty of people who go day-to-day jobs in and out of different workplaces. I know people that don't really socialize as much, and to some degree, you
Could you
call
hold that a
them
little closer, Christian?
Oh, sorry.
There you go,
You
cool.
could call it a codependent relationship, which
Okay.
is toxic in its own right, but like they're not the ones in bars, they're not the ones in restaurants. They're much more independent in their own life, and they live that way.
Okay.
And it's just not as flashy. You don't see Instagram posts about it, but when you're outside day to day, you kind of see, you meet, and you get to know them, and they're some of the best people in my opinion because they're individuals you can sit at a picnic table with and have like 3-hour conversations, and then you just catch up when you're ready to catch up with them, kind of
Gotcha.
thing.
Okay, so when I reached this point, I decided to split the videos into 2 separate ones because the next section talks about career development and loneliness, while this one kind of focused on dating. So stay tuned, and part 2 will be uploaded next week. Okay, forgot to add, please enjoy the bloopers. It's like 5 seconds of the introduction that we kind of just show you behind the scenes. So enjoy that. Let's pause real quick. Does everything look good before we continue?
I was just gonna give it a little.
I was gonna say let it breathe. Oh. What happened to the cork?
I got a little bit destroyed. Had?
How they on? Oh, it smells insane.
I know.
Holy shit.
I'm
Okay.
excited for it.